The Bible is for
No, and I know what that look is. You're looking.
What?
You're gonna say something
Not me.
stupid.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, you just say it. What are you gonna say? Say the thing.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Hey,
My name is Anthony Russo. That's my buddy Tim. Tim's out of the people.
hey people.
Today we are diving into the word. Pronouncing what?
Mm-hmm.
What way?
Yeah, I got it.
Diving into the word. The Bible is Funny is the name of our podcast. And today is a little segment we like to call Cheat Day Devos. Before we get in, of course, as always, a couple of things we need to talk about.
You don't have anything to talk about.
No, I'm just leaving. So here's where
You're thinking like baseball game,
cut,
like
and then
your kids
all the
have all the ads
list
that were
of cool
dumping.
things will go in there. I don't really know anything productive that I need to talk about right now. I mean, you can get the Bible's Funny card game, volume 1 and 2, at the link there.
I don't think anybody's
said that.
showing up to this podcast to hear anything productive that we have to talk
Oh, that's a good point. They shouldn't be if they are. My thought I had the other day that I do think is worth sharing. Because I had this, sometimes I've developed a new thing. I like to say things out loud and then decide if I stand by what I said or not. This is really fun. I encourage you to practice this with your friends. Come up with a take, say it out loud,
Right.
and then leave yourself it's sort of like when you move a chess piece and you keep your hands on it. You're like, I need to take my hand off. I can take that move back if I want to. But I made the move just to see how it looks on the board.
Yeah, and you gauge everybody else's reaction. If you see your
it was an
opponent, you're
audible
like,
gasp. You're like,
No,
I
didn't mean to do
Didn't
that.
take my hand off. But I said this one and it stuck. I think I can tell a lot about a relationship that gets to marriage by the first dance song. And I went as far as to say I think I can tell you if you're gonna make it based on your first dance song.
I'm with you. Do we have a list? I hope you came prepared with like a list of songs.
I didn't come prepared with like an extensive list.
Okay.
But it's like if the song is, and I know this is going to sound so simple, but like people will choose like really kind of tumultuous songs, and that's like their first dance song. And it's like as soon as I hear it, I'm like, it doesn't bode well. And nothing is exact and nothing is 100%. I'm sure there's people with lovely marriages that their first dance was Highway to Hell or
so
something.
far.
But like, I think you can tell a lot by what sort of, specifically if it's like a romantic song and the kind of romantic song you were drawn to choose for your first dance tells me almost everything. I don't want to say everything I need to know. That feels too broad. But like, it tells me a lot about this relationship and how it's going to go.
Okay. Perfect by Ed Sheeran.
There's going to be a lot of marriages that go the distance that had perfect.
That's what I would say too.
Yes, that song. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All of Me by John Legend.
You just wash it through the filter real quick. Yeah, that works.
I think if it's John Legend, like you're in.
John Legend is good.
More than likely gonna have like 6 kids.
Yeah.
Because it's John Legend.
I have a gray one that came up when we were playing a little bit of this game.
Okay.
It was God Bless the Broken Road by Rascal Flatts. And I just was like, I don't know.
If you're playing country songs for your first dance, that's a definite flag. It doesn't mean like things are gonna go south, but you're shaky as a human being.
Yeah, there's a lot of personal preference going into that one. I'm very open to country music. I think there's fine.
I know, but are you gonna put your first dance as a country music song?
Yeah, I mean, if the right one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Sun goes down on my side of town.
What about Elvis? Like an Elvis song?
Elvis, I don't feel good about.
I think for your second marriage, yeah. It works.
Elvis feels like you haven't felt things in years.
Right.
And that's problematic for me.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. For a second marriage, I think it lasts.
Yeah. I just
If
think
you did Elvis for your first
and I
marriage.
think we all know this, and I'm not going to do this with you, listener, and I'm sure your song was great. I'm sure everybody's songs were great. But I just think we all know if you want to get like, if I could get one fact about a married couple and what that's most going to shape their, and like, I'm talking a fun one. Don't be like, they communicate. Okay. Yes, that's helpful. I'm saying give me one like kind of like seemingly innocuous fact that is the best harbinger of what that relationship.
What was that word?
Harbinger.
Harbinger. Close.
Laurel and Hardy. Hardy boys. Hardys. What is it?
I think it's Harbinger. Harbinger.
I don't think ever have two dumber guys argued about who was right.
I mean, I've never used the word because I don't care to.
Google it. I'm standing by Harbinger. Anyway, you get my point.
No, it's.
Is there? Where's the R? Is there no R?
There's one R.
It's in the beginning.
Harbinger. Harbinger.
Harbinger. That's what I said.
Can we roll back the tape?
No, it can't.
Okay,
It's not
Shania
possible.
Twain, you're still the one.
No, bad news. Bad news. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
You're right.
If there is this like sort of sense of
That's a vow. That's a vow renewal song.
yeah,
And also, if you're doing a vow renewal, we know why.
and the good can come, but typically mistakes were made.
We know what happened.
Yes, that's a great one because you hear it and you're like, that's a sweet song, and it's like it is. It is. I just no looming sense of dread in your first dance song. That's my tip. If I was to make this into like a productive thing, no looming sense of like mistakes were made. Are they going to make huge mistakes again? Just try to not have that present in that first dance song.
I just want to say in this list that I pulled up on a whim, Ho Hey by the Lumineers is included in the first dance song, like a popular first dance songs.
Oh, it's cute. I belong with you. You belong with me. You're my
As a dance
sweet-
song?
Yeah,
No, this doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
I think it's fine.
I love the song.
Yeah, I would greenlight that one. But there's some out there. So anyway, if you want to get to know your friends better, or better yet, someone you don't know super well, that's the first question you want to ask. Don't get, you know what you're dealing with right away. Be like, it was so good, Justin. This is a weird thing. Like, what was your first dance song? And if it's, super kind of dramatic and has a sense of dread.
You do that so you know if their wife or husband is going to be available in the next couple of years. If you might have a shot.
No, you don't.
That's
wrong. The other stuff was exactly 100% right, including Harbinger.
Harbinger.
Which is the bringer of the har.
It's already been
Somebody
harbrotten.
brings the har. That's what harbinger means. Today we're doing Cheat Day Devos. I know you came here for deep meditative discussion, and we're going to bring that to you. Before we do, we have a disclaimer that our legal team likes us to share, which is that we are neither qualified nor educated nor really prepared for what's about to happen.
I'm more qualified to perform surgery on you than I am to be doing anything I'm doing right now.
You gave a comparison. I'm obsessed with your last episode's one. This is a flotation device. It is not a rescue device. It floats and it's decorated fun. People look at the pool and they're like, I put that around my belly and just kind of bob around. Yeah, we're good for that. Nope. It's probably fine.
We'll cut that out.
What just
Your plug came out of the wall.
fell?
Your computer plug?
I got it.
We'll fix it in post, Rob.
Oh boy. Now the facade of our perfect podcast is gone.
Wait, say the last thing you said and then we'll transition.
Harbinger. Okay. So
We're not experts.
We're not experts. Don't base your life around this conversation. We're here for giggles and funs. Okay? We're going to talk about the Bible because that matters to us and to you, and we love it. But this is not, there are places you're going to get really good insights, and this is not one of those places.
Yeah, we even met some of those guys on the Florida tour.
We did. They were like fellow Bible podcast bros, and we dapped them up. Mm-hmm. I wish I remember the name of their podcast off the top of my head. Can't shout them out, but they came and said, hey, and
there are others out there. That's my point.
They're out there. Let's get into Exodus 31. Open up your Bibles. Second book. You want to use your tab? That's fine. Exodus 31. Then the Lord said to Moses, see, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skills.
So many skills.
To make all kinds of skills. To make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of crafts. What a stud.
Yeah, sorry, Melissa, you're out. She has no place in being the fine craftsperson anymore.
Okay, quick question on this, and I didn't make this as a note. I didn't even think about this till just now. Do you think that Bezalel knew this at this point?
Oh boy.
Do we have a sword in the stone situation on our hands?
I think it's like when you hire someone, you let them know, you kind of get the contract figured out first, and then you make the announcement, because you don't want to embarrass yourself by announcing the hiring of somebody before you've agreed to terms.
I see what you're saying.
So I think God has already spoken with Bezalel.
What I'm asking is Bezalel like a fisherman at this point? And Moses is sitting on the shore and God is like, that's the one. No. And he's like, everyone's like, Bezalel, you're such a bad fisherman.
No.
You don't have a place with us.
I don't think so, because Bezalel it doesn't sound like he's like being touted as a hero or something. Like, it seems the obvious hire here. Like, he clearly is the one to be in this role.
Right.
That's what I take it.
In verse 2, he does a see.
See?
I have chosen Bezalel. Like, it's like, obviously, he's the best one. Mm-hmm. I like to imagine he's being...
Bezalel himself doesn't even know.
He's being he's like, I was just fishing. I didn't even know I could work with rocks. And then they put rocks in his hand. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, we've never seen somebody do it like that before.
I think we would be talking more miracle talk here if that were the case.
Maybe we are. Maybe we're not talking about miracle enough.
Stop.
I don't know why I always say that when I said that.
What's wrong with you?
Moreover, I have anointed Oholiab, son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan, to help him. You just love the Old Testament. There's the most complicated names before Dan. I like the idea in verse 6 of like a God-ordained assistant. Moreover, I have appointed Oholiab, son of the tribe to help him. Mm-hmm. So it's like the clouds parted and it was like, what was his name? There's Bezalel. Oh. And then it's like in his sidekick.
It's a sous chef. It's great. It's still a highly touted position.
Yeah. But we really went, you would think, all kinds of skills. Verse 4, to make artistic designs and work in gold and silver and bronze and silver. And you would think that probably Oholiab has a lot of those similar skills if he's going to be the helper.
Right.
But we don't go through them exhaustively. We just sort of shout him out as the helper. Robin can do a lot of stuff, but he's always kind of like seen as like second tier. Also, I have given ability to all the skilled workers to make everything I have commanded you. The tent of meeting, the Ark of the Covenant, law with the atonement cover on it, and all the other furnishings of the tent. The table and its articles, the pure gold lampstand and all its accessories, the altar of incense, the altar of burnt offering and all of its utensils, the basin with its stand, and also the woven garments, both the sacred garments for Aaron and the priests and the garments for his sons when they serve as priests, and the anointing oil and fragrant incense for the holy place. They are to make them just as I commanded you.
I feel like this has to be like a huge relief for Moses. Because up until this point, and if I'm putting myself in his shoes, he's given this like list of plans very detailed designs, gold inlays, acacia wood, sizes, like to a T, this is how this thing has to work.
Right.
And my understanding would be he didn't know who's going to pull this thing off. And he's
Right.
probably looking out over his people going, all these morons? Like, there's no way. Who am I going to find to do this? And I have to take these plans, read them, make sure they're like, they're right and accurate. And I got to find somebody to do it. This is going to be tough. And then God's like, no. Don't worry. I found you a guy and an assistant. And also I gave all these other people very special powers to pull this off.
Yeah.
Like, I've been sweating it out for weeks.
Right.
Thinking I'm Moses in this situation.
Right.
So now I'm relieved. I'm happy.
He's a little bit of a Fellowship of the Ring moment where everywhere, Bezalel comes in. And my ox. And then he's like, all right, cool. I'm not doing this by myself. Mm-hmm. Moses is Frodo in that analogy. Then the Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, you must observe my Sabbaths. This will be a sign between me and you for the generations to come, so you may know that I am the Lord who makes you holy. Observe the Sabbath because it is holy to you. Anyone who desecrates it is to be put to death. So you can rest or you can die. Mm-hmm. Those are your choices. Stop working or die.
I like it.
Think about it. Those who do any work on that day must be cut off from their people. For 6 days work is to be done, but the seventh day is a day of Sabbath rest, holy to the Lord. Whoever does any work on the Sabbath day is to be put to death. The Israelites are to observe the Sabbath, celebrating it for the generations to come as a lasting covenant. It will be a sign between me and the Israelites forever, for in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed.
What's frustrating to me is growing up in a very Christian household is that, like, why didn't we celebrate Saturdays, this like anointing of Saturdays or Sundays, whatever the weekend,
Right.
In the same way that we celebrated rainbows? So like my grandparents saw a rainbow and were like, that's a sign of the covenant of God. Every time you saw a rainbow, it's like, well, remember Noah, and we have to remember that God's grace is whatever. We're never going to be, flooded out again like that. Mm-hmm. Why didn't we celebrate the weekends like that? Because it's saying the same thing. I know. That like, this was a sign between me and the Israelites forever. For in 6 days, the Lord made the heavens. The weekend is the sign of that. Right. So celebrate it the same way we celebrate a rainbow. Not a double rainbow. That's different.
Yeah, it'd be wild. It's pretty darn consistent too. Like there's certain things when you go through the Bible that you're like, that's a point that gets brought up a lot. And the Sabbath really is one that's like, y'all should be doing that. And it's like, yeah. I mean, we both grew up in Christian homes, and not that it was ever like we were made to work super hard on that day or anything, but it's like, it does feel like when you go back through it, you're like, oh, we should probably kind of be known for this. If this is our thing, we should probably be people that like, yeah, they don't do anything on one day a week. They're very intentional about like taking the foot off the gas.
And with how some people like will take the other Old Testament traditions or ideas from way back in the day, and we go, well, we need to keep those alive now. We should stone people for X or Y or Z. And they take that seriously.
Yeah.
They're not actually going to kill somebody, I think. But that's, if they believe it, they should take it that seriously. Yeah. But then they're not taking the Sabbath thing seriously at all either.
Yeah. And I hate to as we always say, we hate to threaten people with learning things. The Sabbath, like a little dive on the Sabbath is a great, like, those other podcasts we mentioned earlier, like there's some really good stuff in there, and it is interesting, especially in America. Like it's just hard. Like tell yourself one day you're just like not gonna be productive or do like you're gonna just remember that the world doesn't revolve around you and what you accomplish, and it is hard for some people. Myself,
I reverse Sabbath, so I am not productive 5 days a week.
Oh my gosh!
And I pick like 2 where I get anything done.
I think that's great. Good for you. Too. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, my wife loves it.
Good for you. I love that. You just start using it. I'm Sabbathing.
I'm reverse Sabbathing.
Sorry, I'm Sabbathing. Couldn't possibly.
I'm trying to make up for all the Sabbaths I missed growing up. So I'm
take out the trash. Sounds like work.
It sounds like a Sabbath.
Not me. Yeah, Sabbath is for real. Verse 18, when the Lord finished speaking to Moses on Mount Sinai, he gave him the 2 tablets of the covenant law, the tablets of stone inscribed by the finger of God. It's like a divine finger painting.
Here's a hot take. Why 2 tablets? Could God not have written it in a little bit smaller font?
2 tablets of the covenant law. Well, I wonder, like, you want it to be readable for everybody.
You're saying God could not make that legible? You're putting God inside a box?
I'm saying God knew it was best to have it on
2 tablets.
Now, let me ask you this. Is it 2 different tablets, or does this mean a front-back situation?
It actually is both, as it turns out. We're going to find out later in the text. It is 2 tablets
Foreshadowing.
front back.
Foreshadowing.
We spoiler alert that one.
Yeah.
Could God have not been like, oh, let me write that a little smaller. Let me like decrease the spacing just a little bit. I've got pretty good
handwriting. The size of God's finger.
Again, with just maybe it's just a little fingernail.
Right, but I think God is a big...
Again,
just like when you're
putting limitations on my God. I will not do that. I'm saying, God, why did you do this to poor Moses? Like, now he's got his hands full with 2 tablets.
Yeah.
Could you have not let him like have 1 tablet in one hand and then a staff in the other hand so he can actually get down this mountain a little bit easier?
Yeah.
I'm just saying why. I'm not being critical.
This is what we do here. It's right on brand.
We ask the tough questions.
We ask the tough questions. And I think it comes down to readability and design. I think you don't want it jammed up. You want your margins to be right.
Well,
you
obviously
want letter
you're not
spacing
do like a
and
script
word
font.
spacing.
Yeah, no, nobody wants that.
Ooh, what font was the closest to the one? Was there serifs? That's a huge question we need to ask ourselves.
Times New Roman.
You think it was Times New Roman? The people that killed Jesus?
That's the foreshadowing. He's like, I want a new Roman, not these old guys. These guys are mean.
Maybe it was, how many people's faith would be ruined if it was Comic Sans?
Mine. That's all I know mine.
God's just like, I don't know, I want it to be silly. I want it to be approachable.
It's probably more like wingdings.
Oh, yeah.
Just, what does this mean? And Moses is like, well, you need me to interpret this.
Right. First, I got to carry it. Oh, there's so much. Exodus 32. When the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said, come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses, who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what happened to him.
As for this fellow,
it's time to move on. Aaron answered them, take off the gold earrings that your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing and bring them to me. So all the people took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. This is my hot take. Here's what's noted. Aaron doesn't say, take off the gold earrings you're wearing and go get your wives and go get your daughters and go get your sons. Mm-hmm. I'm imagining Aaron's talking to the dads and he's like, go get those earrings from your house. And I think there's a little bit of jealousy where this is coming from because it seems to me like potentially the men in the camp were the only ones that didn't have earrings. Mm-hmm. So they were like, for too long, they've had their earrings.
This is more about jealousy.
I think it's a little something maybe in here. Sort of like when, like, if you're a dad and everyone in your house gets like a Yeti cup that's cool, it's like, it makes sense. Like, oh, mom got one. And then the kids get one for school and their sports stuff. And it's like...
little Stanley.
Yeah, a little Stanley, something. And then you're like, there's not really a good reason for me to get a cool cup. So I'm the only one without a cup. And then when it comes down to it, and you're like, we need to shed weight from the car right now. Everybody throw your cups out. Everyone that has a fancy cup, throw it out the window right now. Oh, I don't have one, but everybody else, they're so heavy. Hot take.
Very hot.
Probably wrong. So all the people took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. He took what they handed him, and he made it into an idol cast in the shape of a calf, fashioning it with a tool. Then they said, these are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt. When Aaron saw this, he built an altar in front of the calf and announced, tomorrow there will be a festival to the Lord.
So I know that, like, realistically, there's a lot more earrings than I'm picturing, and they're probably bigger than what we have nowadays. But if I pulled if I pulled like 1,000 people's earrings nowadays, it wouldn't be very big. When you melted that down into a pile, I can't imagine that pile being bigger than like a grapefruit. And so then with this, then he took it and he made it into a calf.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine this calf being much bigger than like an iPad. But then the next line says he built an altar in front of the calf and announced tomorrow there will be a festival to the Lord. Like, I imagine a big old altar, and it's like, yeah, all I could make was this little. It's just a little guy. I got all the earrings I could.
That's all the earrings you got. Yeah, you're not walking around with like bars and bars of gold. I don't imagine you're traveling through the desert.
Right. Well, I mean, you're putting them on your ears. So then, if he's got this little altar or this big altar with like a little tiny calf there, I just think that's comical. It's just a little guy.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. It's usually depicted as this huge thing, but if the earrings are the primary source of gold,
right? What if all they could get out of that was this much gold? How
much gold that is, and you melt it down, seemingly taking the impurities out. Mm-hmm. This is even less than the pile you started with. Uh-huh. So they're potentially gathering around this very small calf. This is what I liked. It actually just jumped out at me too in verse 5. Aaron saw this. He built an altar in front of the calf and announced, tomorrow there will be a festival to the Lord. I mean the calf. I don't know. I only know how to do the one. I don't know. Just tomorrow, everybody come on out. Verse 6. So the next day, the people rose early and sacrificed burnt offerings and presented fellowship offerings. Afterward, they sat down to eat and drink and got up to indulge in revelry. Actually, do you think that's a good tip here? The next day, the people rose early, sacrificed burnt offerings. Afterward, they sat down to eat and drink. Mm-hmm. Then they got up to indulge in revelry. This is something I'm always talking to my kids about. When it's time to eat, you just sit down and handle that. Then you can get up and go do whatever you want.
Finish your food first before you revel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of people mixing that up. You want to eat, you want to wait 30 minutes so you don't cramp, and then you can revel.
Then revel.
Verse 7, then the Lord said to Moses, go down because your people whom you brought up out of Egypt have become corrupt. There's so much parental tone in that. Your people that you brought up out of Egypt.
You told me to do it.
Yeah, if you're Moses, that's a lot of like, what? I thought we were a team. Go down because your people that you brought up out of Egypt have become corrupt. They've been quick to turn away from what I commanded them and have made themselves an idol cast in the shape of a calf. They have bowed down to it, and they have to bow really low because it's very small. They bowed down to it and sacrificed to it and have said, these are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt. I've seen these people, the Lord said to Moses. They are a stiff-necked people. Now leave me alone, so that my anger may burn against them and I may destroy them. Then I will make you into a great nation.
I shall send thee down to loosen thy necks. Thy necks have been stiffened. I also like to think that this translation is probably the few times it's ever read in a church. I want to be in the deep South church that's reading this with some pastor who's got like a real thick accent, and he's like, just probably translates different when he's talking about stiff-necked people. Because if you're a stiff-necked person, you got to clarify what that actually means.
That's a great point. I also hope that this verse is up in chiropractors' offices. I feel like that's a great opportunity. I've seen these people, and they are a stiff-necked people. Welcome. We're going to take care of that for you today. Verse 11, but Moses sought the favor of the Lord his God. Lord, he said, why should your anger burn against your people whom you brought out of Egypt with great power and a mighty hand? And again, this subtlety I just love in this story. This is one of my favorite stories. Moses, Lord, why should your anger burn against your people who you brought out of Egypt with your mighty hand? There's a lot of finger. God took his finger and wrote it. Moses is using his finger to point. That's this way. Why should the Egyptians say, this is verse 12. Why should the Egyptians say it was with evil intent that he brought them out, to kill them in the mountains and to wipe them off the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce anger, relent, and do not bring disaster on your people. Verse 12, Moses is scrambling for the lives of all of his people, all of his friends and family, everybody he's been leading. And his like best number one argument point is like, what would the Egyptians say though? What would the Egyptians say if you killed everybody right now? Think about that.
Here's my hot take with this.
Hot take.
If maybe it's a conspiracy theory, which is also kind of a hot take.
Conspiracy theory.
If Moses wrote this book or whatever, he's giving an account to whoever wrote this book, whether he did it himself. He is saying for all eternity here on after, God wanted to kill you. I stepped in and I changed God's mind. Just clearly. I'm not saying I'm God, but don't be mad at me for anything, because I kept you alive, because God was ready to kill you.
It does harken back to parental discussions of like when you're doing the good cop, bad cop, and your mom wanted to take away dessert.
But that's like divorced cop.
I talked her into just losing the switch for today.
Right. You don't do that to your spouse. You're still. You don't do that to Rach, do you?
No, we don't.
I do the other way around.
We don't do. No, you can't throw them under the bus like that. No, you can do good cop, bad cop, but you can't do like.
Yeah, the throwing them under the bus. That's you're
different.
It's if you're divorced already, and you don't have to worry about getting back together.
All right.
Verse 13.
Thank you so much. Remember your servants Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, to whom you swore by your own self, I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and will give your descendants all this land I promised them, and it will be their inheritance forever. Then the Lord relented and did not bring on his people the disaster he had threatened.
Okay, fine. I won't flood them again. Ugh.
You're right. The Egyptians would be so confused. Just like, how else do you respond to that line of reasoning? Moses turned and went down the mountain with the 2 tablets of the covenant law in his hands. They were inscribed on both sides, front and back. The tablets were...
I told you.
They were inscribed on both sides. 2 tablets inscribed on both sides, front and back. How much of Exodus is on there, though, I think is the question.
On the tablets?
Yeah, well, a lot of times you're like, oh, it's 10 commandments. But he goes over a lot of laws.
Oh, you think all the
I don't know.
The instructions for the... Oh, that would make sense.
That'd be a lot of tablets.
If it's all instructions for how to build these altars and the acacia wood and all that, if that's all in the tablets
and all the bull management you have to go through,
then I could see why it would be front and back on 2 tablets.
That's what I'm saying.
Ugh. Just imagine having to turn the page on the tablet, though. Like... Crap, it was on the front side.
You're like in court. Well, if I could reference paragraph 4 of the law.
Lick your finger. Oh, wait,
my apologies. It was paragraph 44. Moses turned, verse 15, and went down the mountain with the 2 tablets of the covenant law in his hands. They were inscribed on both sides, front and back. The tablets were the work of God. The writing was the writing of God, engraved on the tablets. Mm-hmm. When Joseph heard the noise of the people shouting, he said to when Joshua heard the noise of the people shouting, he said to Moses, "There is the sound of war in the camp." Moses replied, "It's not the sound of victory. It's not the sound of defeat. It's the sound of singing I hear."
Like, wait a minute. They're not trying to kill each other. They're singing Christmas carols.
It's very Grinch.
Right. Also, where was Joshua? Was Joshua on the mountain with him?
I think Josh was up there, yeah.
I went back to look, and I didn't see anything.
Yeah, he was apparently nearby.
Unless I just forgot. I have a bad memory.
I'm obsessed with that being a very Grinch-like scene, and also a little bit of the like a CSI intro. It's not the sound of victory. It's not the sound of defeat. It's the sound of singing.
Is that how CSI starts?
It used to. It's been a while. That was CSI Miami. When Moses approached the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, his anger burned, and he threw the tablets out of his hands, breaking them to pieces at the foot of the mountain. That is an overlooked verse that I personally think. Again, and I'm not here to tell Moses how to flip burgers, okay? I don't want him. It's when people show up at your work and tell you how to do your job, it's tough. But if God were to hand me something, I would hope I would have the presence of mind
to not smash him.
to not get so frustrated by something I was pre-told was happening. Hey, when you get home, the kids made a mess of your whole house. Oh, yeah, well, it's all right. Let me calm you down and go inside and see what happened. Opens door, house is a mess. Smash!
You were warned.
You literally knew. And also, I just handed you something very important.
We don't know how long it took God to write that on the tablets, though. Like, if they were just whipped up like that. I believe in a God that could just Xerox them and done. We got a new one.
It's a good quote for the episode. I believe in a God that could Xerox them.
Don't put my God
would be funny.
in a box.
That would also be
paper.
funny.
No.
If Moses is having to wait very patiently as his finger shows up. Did you create the whole world in 6 in the finger?
Yeah, but this is granite.
This is you don't get serifs. You literally don't get serifs, just so you know. So he breaks the tablets. God wrote with God's finger all the law, and you broke it moments later. And he took the calf the people had made, and he burned it in the fire, and he ground it to powder and scattered it on the water and made the Israelites drink it. The image in your head is still in my head, so I'm just thinking it wasn't that much powder per cup.
Also, how do you grind? Does somebody know how to grind gold into powder? I'm just saying it's...
So you burn it and then grind it?
I don't think it was real gold.
I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing for you there. Gotta have Bezalel. He's the specialty in this kind of area. But I also, again, I'm on this parenting thing with Moses and God. It's stuck with me on this one too, because sometimes maybe I'm the only parent. You get in the situation where you're like, I moment to moment, sometimes I'm losing it and my wife has to be like, hey, okay. And you have these subtle cues you give each other of why don't I take this kid and just go over there and we'll chat.
You seem to be behaving erratically right now.
Yeah. When the parent that is calm takes the kid away and then the kid ticks off that parent, that's a really bad moment. Because first parent is maybe cooling down a little, but then when the kid was offered the hey, let's be rational here, and they're still acting really irrationally, then we're into... That's what happens here.
That happens a lot in my house.
This is exactly what happens here. So Moses is like, no, it's cool, God. Everything's fine. Then Moses gets down there and he gets super ticked and he burns up a calf and he makes them all drink calf sludge water as punishment. He's making this all up on the run. 21, he says to Aaron, what did these people do to you that led you into such great sin? Again, I think this whole story is so great, but if you follow along, the Bible is funny long enough, I'm really obsessed with this section of scripture. 22, do not be angry, my Lord, Aaron answered. You know how prone these people are to evil.
You know how they be.
With their stiff necks and all. They said to me, make us gods who will go before you. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him. That's pretty true up to that point. Verse 24, so I told them, whoever has any gold jewelry, take it off. Then they gave me the gold, and I threw it into the fire, and out came this calf. That's real. You can go look it up. I encourage you to do it. It's verse 24. I told them, whoever has any gold jewelry, take it off. They gave me the gold. I threw it into the fire, and out came this calf.
Honestly, I thought you had something to do with it because you're so magical. We just put the gold in. I was trying to get rid of it, and then the calf comes crawling out. It's just a little guy. But I thought oh man, there's a calf now. It must be for Moses. We should worship it. Probably gotta worship it now.
Please. When I say it all out loud, I get why it sounds like it doesn't make sense. But if you had to be here, it was very logical the way that it all.
We didn't know when you were coming back.
We didn't know when you were coming back. I think I said that. I'd like to say that again. Step 2, we threw a bunch of gold into a fire. Step 3, a golden calf specifically, jumped out of that fire. It was little, but we were like, what am I going to not feed it? That seems cruel. That seems like maybe it's something we should not do. Is we got to feed animals, right? That's something. Mm-hmm. Is it not something? Do we? Threw it into the fire and out came this cat. I just never get tired of it. It's just the flimsiest excuse ever given. Verse 25, Moses saw that the people were running wild and that Aaron had let them get out of control and so became a laughingstock to their enemies. So he stood at the entrance of the camp and said, whoever's for the Lord, come to me. And all the Levites rallied to him. Love that we literally, to Aaron's excuse, we don't even get a response from Moses. He just says he saw that people were running wild and Aaron let them get out of control. Moses can trust nobody is what his kind of takeaway is. Like, oh, good. Nobody's doing what I wanted him to do. Verse 27, then he said to them, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel says. Each man strap a sword to his side, go back and forth through the camp from one end to the other, each killing his brother and friend and neighbor. That's verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Something I refer to as the priestly purge. Mm-hmm. You strap a sword to your side, you go back and forth through the camp from one end to the other, killing brother, friend, and neighbor. Verse 28, the Levites did as Moses commanded, and that day about 3,000 of the people died. Then Moses said, you've been set apart to the Lord today, for you were against your own sons and brothers, and he has blessed you this day.
Yes, you have been blessed with the horror of killing your brothers and closest friends.
And neighbors.
Right. So just go, you've been blessed, go take a nap. Just close your eyes and get some good rest, and you'll forget all about it when you just over and over picture the screaming faces of your brothers and your really close friends and the neighbors that you grew up with. Yeah, just go take a nap.
Little issue with the order, because everybody had to drink the gold sludge water. Seems like maybe if you were going to die because of this, they should have just killed you. Then you wouldn't have to also drink gold sludge water. Because everybody probably drank the gold sludge water and they were like, all right, we're even Steven now.
Well, they didn't say how much of the gold sludge water you had to drink. I mean, Goldschlager, if you're a drinker of alcohol, it's got little gold flecks in it,
What was that word you said?
Alcohol.
Yeah. Afterwards, you have to talk me through what you're talking about right now.
Tell you about it.
The priestly purge commenced.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were sent away blessed. Verse 30. It's tough. Verse 30. The next day Moses said to the people, you've committed a great sin, but now I go up to the Lord because perhaps I can make atonement for your sin.
Oh, now you can make atonement. Now, the day after you killed 3,000 people on a whim, you can now...
I'm telling you, this is second parent who lost their cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is classic second parent. Because this is what happens. First parent, again, is like... getting really frustrated, is you're not doing the right thing, blah, blah, blah. And then the second one, hey, we're cool, everybody's cool, let's go talk. And then you just keep pushing, and then that's what happens. This is what happens in that. Is like, oh, you know what? I'm taking all your toys to the river, and I'm dropping them in. And then
they do it, and then the next day, the parent comes back and it's like, well...
let's talk about what happened yesterday.
Maybe we can figure some things out.
That's the vibe I definitely get from this.
Yeah, you psycho.
Perhaps I can make atonement for your sin. Also, somebody somewhere has got to have drawn the up and downs from Moses up this mountain. I want to know how many times in the book of Exodus Moses goes up and down the mountain. That's your challenge. Verse 31. So Moses went back to the Lord and said, oh, what a great sin these people have committed. They have made themselves gods of gold. But now please forgive them their sin. But if not, then blot me out of the book you have written. The Lord replied to Moses, whoever has sinned against me, I will blot out of my book. Now go, lead the people to the place I spoke of, and my angel will go before you. However, when the time comes for me to punish, I will punish them for their sins. And the Lord struck the people with a plague because of what they did with the calf Aaron had made.
I just like this ends with like God casually striking up a plague for people as if someone would order up an appetizer at like a group lunch setting, like with people they work with, and like,
you guys do onion rings?
Yeah, do some tots, and then give them, just have a plague. That's it.
The order here is tough because what you have here is Moses going back up, being like, they made themselves gods of gold, and then you have to scroll back up and go. God goes like, no, I know. Remember, I told you that happened. And I hate that this is like growing a little bit, but it's like first parent got really frustrated. It's like, they're just being like really disrespectful. And like, I know. And secretly you're going like, you're not okay. Let me go talk to my sweet angel baby. And then you go over there and you talk and you come back and you're like, they're just being really disrespectful. And first parent goes like, that's what I was said.
Saying.
That's what I had said originally. You thought I was not being reasonable.
Let me just go ahead and get the plague.
You want to get a plague?
Give him a plague.
It's our anniversary. Let's get a plague. We'll split it. We don't have to eat all of it. We'll just split it. Let everyone have a bite. That's a bleak ending. But listen, we read it as it's written. Mm-hmm. That's what we do here on the Bible's Funny podcast.
Just consume and discuss.
Man. Tim, final thoughts.
What did I learn? What
did you learn today?
I learned, and I alluded to it before, I learned that I need to follow Old Testament law more. And I'm gonna ferociously adhere to the Sabbath, both on Saturday and on Sunday, just to make sure I cover my bases.
To be sure. Yeah.
Because I don't know who's got it right. But I'm going to take the whole weekend, not doing anything ever, maybe ever again.
On the weekend?
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. You're done doing things on weekends.
Sabbath day.
Good. That's good. Because we usually record during the week. Mm-hmm. So that leaves us in play here still. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't know if I have a takeaway from today, except for that, whenever I see this passage with Aaron, I'm always like, you should have a better excuse lined up for why things went the way they did. Mm-hmm. This is a good thing for work. This is a good thing in life, is when it didn't go the way it should have gone. You should have some things to kind of point to, and just like, you want them to be sort of vague enough that you can't really get in. If you really got to the detail of it, it would start to crumble. But you should, you need better things than I threw gold in a fire and a calf jumped out. That's what I'm trying to say to our friends here today.
Yeah, and what I do in my personal life is I go ahead and whenever anything at all is happening, good or bad, like I've got an excuse lined up for whatever could go bad.
I love that.
It's like always there. And this is maybe my like slacker mentality. Like I've grown up always having to make excuses for why I didn't do a thing. Mm-hmm. And they become more believable the longer I have believed them to be true. So you start telling yourself the story early, you might actually believe it and be able to sell it as a good excuse.
We were, when you were in Nashville, we were doing some comedy shows here at this like comedy club. And like once a week we would go to do these improv shows and no one ever came. Like the first week there was some energy from friends and stuff. And then it was like people stopped coming and we kept showing up. And there was a guy that was doing the performances with us that had an excuse every week for why people weren't there. And I found it very encouraging. And it was like, you had to have spent a moment thinking about this because it was like, well, March Madness is going on. Yeah. Like, oh yeah.
It was Labor Day last weekend and everybody was kind of reeling from the travel.
It was supposed to rain, but it didn't. But it was if you had looked at the weather yesterday, they said that today might have rained. So there's people who might have seen that. Yeah.
Preemptive excuses.
Just enough that you go, okay, yeah, that's probably why. Probably why. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make it plausible.
It's got to be a little plausible. That's where Aaron fell apart.
Right.
You don't be throwing gold into fire and calves jump out. This doesn't happen. Need a little bit more realism. Thanks for coming along on our Bible journey. Again, this was Cheat Day Devos. That's Tim. I'm Anthony. Let us know what you thought about these passages of scripture. Let me know if you have documented how many times Moses has gone up and down the mountain in the book of Exodus. And let me know what your excuse is for, just put it in the comments. Give me a reasonable excuse for something so that together we can be working on this. We can sort of hold each other accountable, that we have pre-built-in excuses.
Should we come up with like reasonable excuses for Aaron, like on his behalf? I know we're a little late for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm him, you're like, this is just what this is. This is terrible because this is obviously not really good advice. You should be honest. That's the truth, is you should just be honest about stuff.
There's a point where you
and Aaron's mistake honest. Here is he is honest and then he tries to deny at the very end. You know what I mean? So this is like a kid getting caught eating ice cream. It's like, did you eat ice cream when I told you not to? No, I opened the freezer and I took it out and I opened it. I didn't eat it. It's like, okay, well I
tasted it.
Where is it now?
An extensive taste of ice cream.
You did it. The plan A is you need to like own your stuff and move on. And we have to say that. We have to.
No.
That's what legal always tells me.
No. If you believe the story, it is true. If you have to know in your heart that you threw gold in fire and out came a calf, so you can sell that story. So lie to yourself early so you can eventually believe it, and then
I'll give you one for Aaron here. You be Moses and I'll be Aaron.
Okay.
Hey Moses, what's going on?
I'm a little mad because I just had to walk down this mountain again because y'all are building calves out of gold.
Calves out of gold? What? Oh my gosh. Holy smokes.
What happened?
I think I was just hypnotized. I think I've been hypnotized for like an extended period of time. I'm so glad you're back from the mountain. What has gone on? What has hitherto happened here?
It's good.
While I was hypnotized.
Very believable. See?
Did you see how I
I saw the whole thing.
And then you're like,
those people who are just listening to the podcast won't see the acting job.
You're like, it's probably not true, but maybe it was hypnotized.
How do you know when someone is hypnotized or has been hypnotized?
And then Aaron keeps trying to use it. Aaron, I had leftovers in our shared fridge. Where did they go?
What?
Sorry, Moses. I was just hypnotized. Don't do that. Tell the truth.
It's okay.
And we love you. And we'll do more Bible stuff here very soon. Right, Tim?
I guess.
Okay. See you soon. Bye.